Hello, I'm Sidney Wildesmith, inventor of the Solar Sanitizer. This unique device, right here, is extremely lightweight, can be easily rolled up, you can take it with you if you want on camping or whatever else. It's very lightweight and can be used with direct sunlight to heat food and to sterilize objects. So let's do a quick overview of the Solar Sanitizer. It has two sides. One is the side with the collector elements here. The purpose of the collector is to take the sun, concentrate it, and then focus that onto the heating element. And then the back side here, which is actually where you put the things that you want to have heated, and it is actually what we call the heating chamber. To use the bag, it's very simple. It has a resealable closure here. Some people refer to it as a zipper. You simply open it up like this, and then, as you can see, you put the objects that you wish to heat into the heating chamber here. When you're ready to heat it, you've got good sunlight, you take the bag, you try to get out as much air as you possibly can by just kind of squeezing it, and we'll show you that in more detail later. And then once that's ready, then you seal it up and you're ready to put it into the direct sunlight for use. A unique and important feature of the bag is the fact that it has a thermometer, which is in the heating chamber, so that you can monitor the temperature. Here is a detail of the thermometer, and you can see it has temperatures between 122 and 152. Hi, let's talk about when you can use this. Obviously, it's the sun that's making all the difference. So therefore, the Solar Sanitizer works best during high sun times, and the best times are between 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the afternoon in direct sunlight. You'll find that at times like that, this bag will heat up with good sunlight to well over 140 degrees. And of course, you can monitor that again with the temperature. And that's kind of fun. You can actually do your own testing on that. But as well, the Solar Sanitizer can work before that and as well later on into the afternoon. What is required there is to direct the Solar Sanitizer towards the sun, however you wish to do that. And that's important, that if you, for example, put it at an angle like this as the sun is lowering into the sky, it still works very, very well. And sometimes, well, let's say it just works very, very well. What I do is I can put it, use something to prop it up, and therefore just rotate it as needed around to be in direct. You want it to be kind of like 90 degrees, the sun coming in at 90 degrees, and therefore it works fine even after those peak hours of 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. The Solar Sanitizer, as I mentioned, is great for heating up food, and in this particular case I'm going to talk about the two kind of applications that would work for you. There's two things. One is solid foods, and the other would be liquids. And in fact, the Solar Sanitizer works well for both. Let's show you how. Okay, in this case, I have a hot dog. It could be anything you want, but it's a greasy food, so you want to put it inside of a plastic bag. You want to kind of roll it up. You don't have to do this, roll it up, but you can if you want. You don't even have to seal it since it's inside the bag. And then you open up your Solar Sanitizer, put it into the heating chamber like this. Make sure that you kind of express any extra air. Doesn't have to be serious. And you're ready to roll. In this case, you would then put it out flat on a surface, on the ground, or on a table, or wherever, with direct sunlight. And then you can monitor the temperature inside the bag, of course, with the thermometer. The Solar Sanitizer also works very well for liquids. such as tea or coffee. So in this case, I've taken some coffee and I've put it inside this little bag here. Now this has to be, of course, sealable so you don't have it leak into the heating chamber. You try to express as much air as you possibly can, and then just open the bag, open the heating chamber like this, place into the bag the heating chamber, express as much air as possible, and then just seal it up tight. All right. Then you would place this flat on the ground or on some other surface and let it heat up. You'd be amazed at how warm. It doesn't get hot, but it gets nicely warm. And again, you can monitor the temperature inside the bag with the thermometer. Hi, let's talk about camping, the use of the Solar Sanitizer in camping. One of the nice things about the Solar Sanitizer, as I mentioned before, is that it can be easily rolled up. Put a rubber band around this, or however you wish to do it. Put this in your backpack and take it with you. It weighs nothing. It adds no weight, but what it does add is a feature that you can heat up food, typically in the middle of the day, between the hours of about 10 and 2 or so, by simply unfolding the bag, putting whatever you want to heat inside the bag here, then placing it in direct sunlight and leaving it there. And in half an hour to an hour, you'll have warm food, whether it's say hot dogs, it could be some sort of liquid like tea or cocoa. It's a wonderful addition to people who spend a lot of time outdoors. Okay, I'm inside my car now, and this is a great place for the Solar Sanitizer to work. As a matter of fact, it works exceptionally well. Now, of course, this could be for sanitizing all sorts of things, or heating food in particular. You put the Solar Sanitizer on your dash and just drive. And it's amazing. It oftentimes will get hotter than it will actually in the open air. You know how high and hot the temperature can get inside of a car with the windows closed. It can be dangerous. Well, kind of the same factor plays here with your Solar Sanitizer. It gets really warm. Now, if you can't, if this isn't going to be in the sunlight, you can, because of the way you're driving, you can put it in the back ledge of your back window. I suggest you could put all sorts of like sandwiches. You could put pie. You could put your liquids, your coffee or tea or whatever it is. If you're traveling and you stop and get some food and you want to maybe eat a little later, put it in your Solar Sanitizer and it will stay nice and warm. So when you're ready, you can eat it. Okay, the Solar Sanitizer also is referred to it as a sanitizer because, in fact, the interior temperatures inside the heat chamber here regularly get above 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is considered by many to be a temperature at which most germs and viruses are killed. So conceivably this can be used, but I recommend that anybody who uses this bag refer to the current CDC parameters as to what would be safe killing temperatures. Right now there's two things that people seem to be using a lot of. One, of course, are the masks and gloves like this. Oftentimes people use the mask, but they're not really cleaning it, sanitizing it, and that's important. So the Solar Sanitizer can be used for sanitizing these masks. How? It's very simple. You just open the heat chamber, put your objects into the heat chamber. Again, try to express any extra air, sealed securely, okay, and you're ready to go. What you want to do then is to put this down in the sun, in direct sunlight, and this, of course, this is very important. The intensity of the sun is in dramatic correlation to the temperature inside the bag. So you want to be sure that the temperature inside the bag reaches 140 degrees, and that it maintains that temperature for at least a half an hour. And as you can see, the thermometer here, what happens is as the temperature increases, this changes color. And so you can monitor the temperature. Now, oftentimes the bag will get up to 150, 160. Of course, that's like added safety. One of the things about the bag is the fact that when it generates heat inside the chamber, you'll notice oftentimes that there's moisture that collects, small amounts of moisture on the concentrators here. That's actually a good thing in terms of killing, sanitizing against viruses and germs, because in fact that helps to kill them. Heat and humidity are factors that affect the effectiveness of sanitizing against germs and viruses. I recommend that you actually put this on the dash of your car or on the back ledge and the back window. When you go to a store or some other place, you take them out, you use them. When you come back, put them back in here. Of course, place them on the dash or on the back ledge of your car there, and just leave it there in the sun. It's amazing how warm this will become inside the dash of your car. We'll talk about that specific use in a little bit. When you're done, take out your items, and they may be a little bit moist, but that's okay. So just let them air dry. Also, at that point, you might want to just open the bag and let it air dry as well. Solar Sanitizer. The Solar Sanitizer has a unique application, and that is to sanitize your mail. Many people don't really think about that, but some people are concerned that they're getting mail that's been all across the country and no one knows how many hands it's touched. So this is a great way to sanitize your mail. So how do we do that? It's really quite simple. Because the Solar Sanitizer generates a small amount of moisture, you want to protect your mail against that moisture. So what you do is you take your mail and you put it inside of a sealable baggie like this. Again, express as much air as you can, and then just seal the bag like this. Then place the bag inside, express air, and seal tightly. Always when you're sealing, go from one side to the other and check to make sure that it's sealed. When you've done that, you place this on the ground or some other surface in direct sunlight. Obviously, direct sunlight, good sunlight, works best. And leave it there. You'll oftentimes notice that the temperature inside the bag will get way up above 140, up to 150, 160 degrees, and of course that is a point at which things are sanitized. This also works incredibly well in your car.